What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 44 of Reezy Talks. Today, I got a super special guest, my good friend, Anthony, who goes by the name of Flip a Dollar on Instagram. What's up, Flip?
What's good? I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, no worries, man.
For real.
You're my boy, man. So, a little backstory between me and Flip. We just call him Flip, basically. That's what we call him. I met Flip through was it through Instagram or was it Snapchat?
Yeah.
It was on
Instagram.
Instagram. So I think he started following me a little bit back. I'll let him talk about that. But about a year ago, he reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I see you're in my town." I was in Philadelphia at the time, and he was like, "Can I come through? I got a gift for you." And I was like, "Shit, all right." I ain't one to turn down a gift. You know what I mean? And he came through, and turns out he was a really nice dude. Told me I need to get more money because I wasn't getting enough money, and basically we just linked up from there, and we vibe. You know, we got a good vibe going on. He's a cool cat, a nice dude. He sells on a lot of platforms. If you read the title of this, Digital Trapper, and for all the white folk out there, trapping just means making money, selling. It's like a rap, old school hood reference. But yeah, the digital trap is the new trap. It's not the trap house. It's the whole internet. It's everywhere, right? So
Everything.
list off. Let me know all these. What are all the different places that you sell on? Because you don't just sell on eBay and Amazon.
Well, one of my favorites is Mercari. It's extremely underrated. It's only on mobile devices, so it's not like for the people who like if you want to go to your computer and sit down, like you say, I don't have a laptop. When you ask me to go on Google Hangouts with a laptop, I don't have a laptop. I got 3 iPads, 2 iPhones, and like TVs and stuff that goes online, and that's how I would have to communicate. Mercari is like if you got a laptop and a desktop and you like to sit down and work from there, it's not really going to work for you because it's 100% mobile. Just like with me printing directly from my car, and it's because I'm 100% mobile. So it's like for the new age people who want to be on the go every second of the day. So I love it for that. It's like an eBay clone, basically. But I think it's eBay 2.0 when it actually really gets to where it's going to be. But it's still a relatively new site, probably like 3 or 4 years old. And a lot of people don't know about it. It doesn't have as much traffic as eBay or Amazon or any of the other sites, but I believe it will get there.
But it also doesn't have as much competition, right?
No, it doesn't have competition, and you can get a niche going and like own the niche really quickly. Like when I got on there, my first 3 accounts, because I kept getting suspended. my first account was what was it? Media Limitless, and I had all type of media. I was selling recovery discs, and that's what got me suspended. I was selling Windows recovery discs, and they were saying I was selling something that was pirated, but it was a recovery disc.
Right.
And it was for any
you were providing
computer.
a service.
It didn't contain serial numbers or anything like that. It was like if your Windows 7 crashed and you got the product key on your laptop, you can run the disk and put your key back in and get back running. So I was selling a lot of that. I was selling recoveries on flash drives, and then I started selling product keys. And I think they actually made a rule because of me with the tangible stuff. They was like, nah, you can't do this because like if you send somebody a key, what if it doesn't work? We can't refund them, and we don't really have a way to do that. It has to be something physical. So they kicked me off eventually because I wouldn't listen to them. I kept selling.
Yeah, you're fairly techie dude, right? You know a lot about computers.
Man, I'm a geek. I got a geek brain. I was selling a lot of it, man. People was ordering it like every 2 or 3 hours. I was selling the discs, and I was just making them.
You were probably one of those kids that was selling burned CDs then back in the day too, right? Music.
Nah, I ain't never liked the CDs because it wasn't enough money. It wasn't.
DVDs,
it was like
were you selling DVD copies?
Nah, it wasn't enough money.
I'm not talking about like as an official adult businessman. I'm just saying like when I was in high school, fools were hustling.
I never did it.
I didn't even have a computer back then.
I'm gonna tell you what I did because I didn't want to do that. I made a computer that had 4 USB ports, and I would hook up MP3 players and iPods and stuff and do that because if you give me $5 to plug your thing in, it costs me nothing.
And if I give you a disc, I have to actually, music.
yeah, I gotta go buy this and all that stuff. I'm not doing all that.
Hey, give me a second
It's
real
not
quick.
enough
I gotta
money in that.
go. I gotta go open this door. If you guys can tell, if you're watching this, if you're listening, this won't make any sense, but I'm broadcasting from my garage because my ring light broke, and this is my next best lighting setup for the moment. And the internet signal in here is kind of boosty, so I'm gonna go open up the garage door, yell at my kid, tell her to make sure she ain't on the internet. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
All right, well, I'll continue, guys. Basically, Mercari is one of the platforms that I sell on. I like to sell on bonanza.com, which is a pretty good platform. It's another underrated platform, and a lot of people, they don't know about it because it's not a lot of promotion, but it's kind of like I don't know, it's like a smaller Amazon type of thing. It's an open market. I own some websites and domains that I purchase, and I just have like random things going on and outsourcing things.
You could sell
I
anything
got
on
a bunch of
Mercari,
stuff
right?
going on. Anything up to $2,000. So
Okay.
$2,000
And then they have a
is the
really cool.
maximum.
They have a cool shipping thing, right? Don't they have some kind of cheap shipping?
I love their shipping, but it's a little expensive for small stuff. Like for this, I wouldn't ship this because shipping this card, they would want $4 where you can use. I use a PayPal link to order shipping through PayPal.
Right.
So,
but what do they have a
that's
deal
another
for
thing.
like bulk shipping, right? For like 20 pounds, you can ship something for like they have a flat rate fee or
Exactly.
something.
They have a flat rate with FedEx and with USPS, but if it's not heavy, the rates don't make sense.
Do you know what that is
So
offhand?
if you, it's like $6, $8, and like $15.
Okay, so you could ship something
it's
that's like 20 pounds for $15.
maybe less.
Yeah,
Maybe you might be able to do it for $8, something like that.
that's
But see,
awesome because it's
that's
gonna
when you
cost
want
you
to do
a ridiculous amount to ship any other way.
that's when you want to do big stuff. And a lot of people are scared of big stuff. Like if you see something really good in a Goodwill and it's big, people get scared. Like if you see a pool table or something where you know you can get good money for it, but it's big, people leave it because they figure, what am I going to do? I can't ship it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people shy away from it. But Mercari, Bonanza, the platform I'm on, eBay, of course, Amazon. I own a few websites where I sell different random things. Like I have a site where I sell just product keys.
Yeah, let's talk about Uber. So for those of you guys that are interested in driving Uber, which in my opinion is amazing, because not only is it accessible to most people, the way that you can leverage the internet to make money, you can be your own boss, and they pay out daily, so you can have no money, go work for a day. At the end of the day, you sign out, and you got your money for that day, and then you can go use that to buy some stuff for Amazon or whatever. How do you like Uber? What are your thoughts about Uber?
Man, I love Uber. I live by Uber. Like basically, when I exhaust my entire business budget for Amazon, I jump on Uber because it's like, all right, I want to get more stuff, but I don't have money to buy more stuff. So I'm going to get on Uber, make some money, and then I'll go back and get some of the stuff that I was able to see, or I'll keep making money until I have enough to come across something where I can make more money. So I love Uber because of that, because that's powerful to be able to say, hey, I need to make $100 tonight and to go make it. That's like real powerful, man.
Right. No excuses. And also, I imagine you probably like take a Uber and then like someone has you driving, to the far side of the town or whatever, and then you clock out and then you can go source in that area. And now you just got paid to drive to your sourcing spot.
I'll do you one better. What I was doing was I was driving a 1998 Acura because it's too old to transport people. So they would allow me to do Uber Eats. So basically, I would do both at the same time. I would source and do Uber Eats and have the app open because I'm not picking up people. So the car can be completely full. All I have to do is pick up food. So I was doing that until I got into the accident and my car was totaled. I'm not willing to do it in my Jeep because I have to pick people up. So it's impossible to have a full car and to actually commit to the service and have
So your
space for
favorite way
people.
to Uber is actually to do the food delivery.
In most cases, I don't mind doing Uber. I have been doing Uber the last few nights. I like to do late nights and weekends because it's a lot of people that need the app living in Philadelphia. It's like a lot of traffic. But other days, I like to source because I can make more money sourcing than I can on Uber. I would have to like do full-time hours.
Right, right. I don't even think we have Uber Eats where I live in a little hippie surf town.
Wow, that's crazy, man. We have
It's
Uber Eats everywhere out here.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder
But
if it's a policy because it's like weird, you know what I mean? It's a tourist city, so they have all kind of weird laws, you know what I mean? Like you can't
okay,
build a
yeah.
building over this tall because it blocked the ocean view, you know what I mean?
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Man, here we got everything,
Yeah.
bro. We even got something called GoPuff. I don't know if you heard of that. Where like,
Go
let's say
Puff
if you
sounds fun. What is it?
let's say if it's the middle of the night and you want a bag of Doritos, a candy bar, and some chocolate pretzels, you can press a button in your phone and it's like Uber Eats, and 10 minutes later you got that. So
Damn.
it's like a
I
food
need
bolo.
that in my Actually, I don't. I'm on a diet now for 2017, so don't tell me about
Oh
that.
man, listen, you would kill your diet. The delivery fee is like $1.95. So you
Damn, it's
order to
basically
your heart's
free.
desire, man. Yeah, you order to your heart's desire. So I even thought about driving for them.
Or till your heart explodes.
Well, if you like me, you greedy. I eat all day, man.
Yeah.
I eat
Yeah, I
all
don't
day.
know, man. 2017 was a bad year exercise wise for me, so I'm working on it.
Yeah,
So you're
2018
from
is gonna be better though,
Philadelphia,
man.
yeah?
Yes,
Oh
West
yeah, I'm
Philly.
exercise. Born and raised?
Yes, sir. Like Will Smith. Went to the same
Yeah.
school as Wilt
Uh,
Chamberlain.
wow, that's awesome. So you live pretty much like near where you grew up at.
Yes, minutes, minutes away.
Nice. And what's your schooling like? Did you go to college or anything?
Oh man, I think I made it to the 9th or 10th grade. To be honest with you, that's it.
Nice. So you're like me. I didn't graduate high school either. I dropped out and took my GED on the same day,
Yeah,
actually.
I had a lot of things going on, so I couldn't finish school. So it was crazy.
Me too. It wasn't.
Practically had nowhere
I
to
wasn't
stay.
meant to be in. I wasn't meant to be in school anyways. I had a kid. I need to start making some money.
Yeah, my situation was similar. I didn't have really anywhere to stay, so I chose to work. I think I could have went back to school, but I was like, man, look, I gotta be a man. I gotta go work. I gotta take care of myself. I'm tired of living with all my
Right.
family members, man.
So when did you get into selling on the internet? I imagine maybe eBay was the first thing that you did.
Um, the whole story on how that happened was I used to sell at the flea market, and I had like a lot of different like cool stuff because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just trying to make money. So if something looked cool to me, I would try to sell it. So I had accumulated a nice amount of different things that had value, but I didn't really understand the value they had or how to really actually get the most money from them. So I was at the flea market one day, and one of the vendors came up to me and was like, "Yo, you got what they're looking for." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "eBay, man, eBay." He was real passionate about it, and he was making like 15,000 a month just selling antiques and different gadgets and car parts, and real intelligent guy. Probably old enough to be my dad. But anyway, he was like, "eBay, bro, you got the stuff." So I was extremely motivated, and I went home and I looked into it. I made an account. Uh, didn't sell anything immediately because I still didn't really know how it worked and everything. I didn't know how to check completed or comps or anything like that. Like I said, I just had cool stuff. So with
Right.
more of his guidance from talking to him again and telling him that I moved forward and created an account, but I didn't really know how to get it started, he kind of coached me and was like, "All right, well, you got this. So I want you to go home and look this up and see what this goes for. And I want you to look into parts. I sell parts." And he just broke it down a little more. So I got on eBay, um, started selling anything that I could think of, putting stuff up there and utilizing the free auctions that they gave me because I didn't have the money to really list. And eventually started getting a few sales here and there. And I was like, "Yo, this is kind of cool." Then I fell off for a while. Went back to the flea market and just selling stuff. And eventually I started making some okay sales. And I kind of got serious about it when I was able to just see the power in it. And this was probably about 8 years ago, something like that.
Nice. And when did you
I
start
transitioned
doing
from
online sales as your full time business? I mean,
um
obviously you still do Uber as well, but
it was about a year after that, a year after I started, when I really was able to see that this is what I was going to be able to do because I couldn't really keep a job because I didn't like jobs. It was like was like a lot of work. My last job was doing deliveries. A company called MJR Messenger, delivering film and pictures and like signage for stores.
Mm-hmm.
And they paid me $2 a stop, and I was doing 90 stops a day, man. It was hectic in my own
Yeah,
car, so
that's
I was killing
fast.
my car. You know,
Yeah,
I was
imagine.
killing my car. I wasn't really making any money, man.
And you're not just by yourself, right? You got a family to feed.
Yeah, at that time it was just me. I didn't have any kids at that time. But
What's your family status right now? Are you married?
no, I'm not married. I'm engaged.
And you got two kids, yeah?
Yeah, I got two kids. My older son is from a previous relationship, and then I have a 1-year-old with my lady, and soon to have about 2 or 3 more. You know,
You
because
soon
she's
to have
anxious to
two or
have more
three more?
kids. Yeah, she's anxious to have some kids, so I gotta put some in there.
I guess it is up to you, bro. You gotta handle that business.
Hey, look, before I get too old, man, I'll be 36 in June, so I gotta get started now.
Yeah, do you
You know what I'm
see
saying?
those?
So I
I
can
mean,
still
no,
play with
no
them.
offense to these people that are keeping at it at an old age, but you see their kid running wild, and you see them huffing and puffing. They can't keep up with their own kids.
I'm already like that. I'm blowing right now with the 1-year-old. Can't even keep up with them. So, you know, that's why I'm getting in shape, man. I'm gonna start drinking 2 gallons of water and just being a lot more active every day. 2 gallons of water.
Awesome. Yeah, it's all about
Get
being
right.
healthy, man. Even though you're
Get
over here
right, man.
snacking, talking about Go Puff or whatever it's called.
You know what? I want to talk about retail arbitrage, man. That's what I
Yeah,
want to talk
definitely.
about.
Let's get into it because
Um,
that is the main way that you're making your money for Amazon, right? You're not doing
yeah,
wholesale
nah,
or private
100%,
label.
100%. All
You're
right,
buying
man.
everything from retail stores. And do you do books? I don't think you do books, right?
Nah, man, I did probably about 8 books in the last 2 years.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you're 100% new items for the most part from retail stores. What's an average day like for you then?
As far as like how long I work, or
No,
just
just like in a let's say it's a day that you're sourcing all day. What does that consist of for you? Most people don't know
all
what
right.
sourcing is, right? So what's a full retail arbitrage sourcing day for Flip look like?
First things first. I look into what stores I'm going to go to. Um, Once I figure out what stores I'm going to go to, I create a map of those stores. So that way I can actually be effective. Because if you say, let's say you say, I want to do Goodwills today, and you go to the one you know about, and then you go to your phone and say, hey, nearest Goodwill. That's not really accurate because now you're kind of fighting against traffic and it's not logistics behind it. So I'll create a map and I'll put in a certain amount of stores. I'll try to put in as many as I can in the state that I want to go to. And then I use Waze to tell me if it's going to be traffic, delays, construction, and things like that. And it will tell me this route is 4 hours. This route is X amount of miles. And I'll say, okay, if I spend 10, 15 minutes in each store, it's going to take this long. So now I have an idea of what my day is going to be like. And I try to execute it like that and add anything as I go along.
So you're using
So
Waze to plan your routes.
I'm using Route for Me, and I would recommend
Okay.
everybody get that app. It's an extremely powerful app.
Route for
But let's
me,
say
the
if I'm
number
doing,
four or the word for.
yes, the number 4. Let's say if I'm doing Walmart, for instance, because we have a lot
Okay.
of Walmarts in Pennsylvania. If I'm doing Walmarts, I could put in 40 stores. Now, I might not be able to reach 40 stores unless I stay out overnight or unless I do about 18 hours straight, which is something I do sometimes because I get anxious and I want to see what's out there. And I even have days where I do research where I'm not buying anything. I just go look. I go look and see what's on the shelves.
Right.
And I like to exhaust my entire budget if I can in one day. I don't want to do a million trips and a lot of riding around. If I can spend all of my money in one day, I will, because it makes more sense. And then you send that stuff
Yeah.
immediately to Amazon, like within 24 hours. And once you let that go, you can get on Uber again because now you got X amount of items going to the warehouse and you can focus on making money again because you know that's going to make you some money once it checks in and goes live. So
Right.
that's kind of how I create a balancing effect with my stuff. And now, since it's 2018 and I want to be more effective, I'll be putting more time into my YouTube and creating more content to give to people instead of just going live 100 hours a year like I did last year. I think I was live on Instagram maybe like 100, 200 hours, something crazy like that. I was live like every day.
Flip's always live, stays live.
But that content is gone. It's not saved anywhere. So now I want to create content and put things together so that way it's more value.
Right. You can save your lives, and I recommend you to save them if they're good.
Man, I don't know how to do it, bro. I tried it to get it to go into my camera roll, but for some reason it's just not working for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, when you end the live, you should be able to press save, but yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't be working.
I don't have the feature. I can save it for 24 hours for people to view it, but not for me personally. I don't know how to do it.
So right on the end, when you end a live, and then there's a button that says save it for 24 hours, there should be another button on the right to save it to your camera roll first.
Okay, I'm gonna look into it. Maybe I'm overlooking the button. But
either way, just
also
you know what I mean. If it's valuable, you might as well save it. You know what I mean. Someone also like Posh Hanger, you know, she creates a lot of good Instagram stories, but she doesn't have her YouTube going. And I'm like, dude, just save your stories, you know, because like, why, you know, people are out here putting 45 minutes of work into their Instagram story in a day, and it's gone.
Yeah, exactly, man. I'm guilty of that. I have so many really great stories where it was a lot of information in it, and it's gone, man. But that's good because I'll use that foundation to build the stuff that I have going on now in my mind.
Right.
And, you know, bring something good, bring some value.
So let's talk about another thing that I think people will feel some value, get some value out of from you. You mentioned it earlier. You don't have a laptop. You don't use a laptop. You run your entire Amazon business off of your cell phone. Is this correct?
Yes, 100%.
So tell me a little bit about the things that are involved with that, because a lot of people don't even know you could do that.
All right. I wouldn't recommend it because it's not for everybody, and I'll tell you why. My phone, my daily phone is an iPhone 7 Plus. My backup phone is a 6 Plus. And the reason why that's important, with two-step authentication, if you break your phone, you can't get into your account unless you have a secondary device to swap your SIM card from to get your account back. That's if you're having the message to your text. If you're having it sent to text message, you won't be able to log in. So if you got to go on an email, then you can kind of work around that. But since I'm 100% mobile, I carry two cell phones. One is not activated and one is. But on the 7 Plus, when you do a shipment, it's a little clumsy because, you know, you can't do it from mobile browser. You have to have full desktop enabled. And then the page is much bigger than your screen. So you have to do a bunch of blowing up the page and moving it to the side and all that different stuff to get it done. But for me, it's really simple because I'll use the Amazon Sellers app, scan my item in, go into my inventory, manipulate the quantity, create my shipping plan, and so on and so forth. And then from there, I just hit print, and it comes to my mobile printer, and I send the stuff to Amazon. I don't do any prep. I let them do the prep. So
they do all the stickering for you?
Yes. I let them
do inventory placement? Do you pay them so you can ship everything to the same warehouse?
Yes, I do. I send everything to Hazleton, PA, and then they break it up and do what they do from there and charge me on the back end.
So that costs you an additional 40 cents a unit, and so you have to build that into your purchasing scenario, right? What app are you using and stuff when you're out?
Just Amazon Seller app. That's all I use. Yes, mainly because I'm not doing apparel, and I'm really not doing many items that kind of hide the sales rank. Everything is pretty much giving me the data that I need. And I don't go by a lot of data. I don't use Keepa. I don't see if Amazon is getting in stock or when the last time they had stock. I really don't care. If the ROI looks good for me, I send the stuff in.
And the reviews,
I take that gamble.
right? You checking out the reviews.
I don't even check the reviews. If the ROI looks good, I just send it. I don't use all of that data because it might make me miss something that I could potentially make some money from.
Right.
You know, for instance, if a toy is ranked 600,000, I will send it in. I know a lot of people won't do that. I won't send in a lot of it, but if they have two and it's $3 and it potentially brings back $40, so I'm going to send in those two items and spend that $6.
Right.
And see how long it takes.
The risk is worth the reward. It makes sense.
Yes. And a lot of times it has sold off of the truck. So it sold like an item that was ranked 80K, 40K, which is weird. I can't tell you why it did or why it didn't.
Right. I think there's a lot of different things. We talked about it before. I think sometimes the supply has to do with it. You know, maybe there is no FBA offers there, or maybe
Yes,
they're back
exactly.
ordered, or maybe, you know what I mean? Because like, if you don't understand this, let me break this concept down to you guys real quick. There's a huge difference between something that's ranked 500,000 and has 10 offers at FBA versus something that's ranked 500,000 and has 0 offers at FBA. Because if you're smart, you know customers prefer to buy FBA, so the lack of being an FBA offer being available makes less sales happen, which makes the rank goes up. So
Exactly.
you can assume that if it was in stock, maybe this would be 100,000 rank. Maybe this would be a 25,000 rank. You don't know.
Exactly. And when it comes to items that I send in, I like to take a gamble a lot of the times. So in my mind, I'm thinking, is this going to sell? Will this work? Let me do a test. And I have a certain amount of my inventory is just stuff that I'm testing. So that way I can get that information to know if it works good and if it doesn't. So that's kind of like how I source. But I send in a lot of stuff, man. I'm sending in a lot of stuff this year. I'm no longer playing around. I got all gas, no brakes, man. I'm sending in stuff
Awesome.
every day.
So, what do you know the model number of the printer that you use? Because I know you have this figured out, and a lot of people would probably like to know that.
Yes, I do. The model number is IP110.
And how does it work? Works great.
It's excellent. It's by Canon. It's a Canon IP110.
It prints
Probably
full,
like the
full
size of
legal
a.
letter size paper.
Yes, it does, and it's like the size of like a fat PS2. It's a little. It's not as wide and it's not as long, but it's similar to like a fat PS2. I carry it in a briefcase. It's like behind the seat in my car or in the trunk. And
And do you run that off the AC
print.
adapter in your car?
Yes, it does have a battery, but I don't use the battery. I run it directly off of the AC. But you can attach a battery to it and just not use a cord.
Nice. That's
It's
nice.
a lovely printer. It's compatible with Android and iPhone.
And I know you don't. You said you're not labeling your stuff, so you're just using that to print box labels, yeah?
Yes, yes.
But it can print labels, correct?
You can print anything. Yes, it's a
Is that a
standard
laser
printer. It's
printer
just
or is
mobile.
it a desk jet printer?
It takes ink. It's not laser.
I guess you can't call it a desk jet, more like a back of the whip jet.
Yeah, it's a good printer, man. It's worth every penny. I think
Yeah,
it's around like $200.
that's a major key because if you're travel sourcing, guys, a lot of people might take a trip and buy something, and that's cool if you're gonna go right back to your house. But the further you drive from your house, the more opportunities you have to go to sourcing locations. And guess what happens? Sometimes you fill your car up and then you can't buy anything. Like me, I might drive an hour and a half and fill my car up with Nikes at the first stop or the second stop, but I have 3 or 4 more stores I could go to buy Nikes, but my car is full. Now, if I had that printer and it wasn't too late in the day, I could just make a shipment using my phone even and drop those off at a UPS or at a Staples or wherever
Staples,
that takes
exactly.
UPS shipments, and then I could continue on to the next one, which means I just improve my sourcing a lot more because look, you're right by the spot, but your car's full. You know what I mean? Like for those times when you wish you had an econo line, just
Well,
ship
that's
it
the
off.
reason
Go
why
get some more.
that's that's the reason why I do mobile printing, because if I get to my second destination and the car's full, I'm dropping the stuff off at Staples, man. I'm dropping it off. That's it. So I can continue. It's all about that flow. You don't want to break your flow. If you do one Nike store and you fill up the car, do you go home after that? It's like, is that the climax of the day?
I mean, it's a good day,
I don't want it
but
to be.
it could be much better.
Yeah, exactly. So I like to run out of money or space. And usually I
Right?
like to run out
Yeah.
of money before space.
Yeah, exactly. Because what happens is I've had this happen too, where I'm like, I'm buying stuff and I'm like, wow, there's so much stuff to buy. And this usually with shoes or whatever. And even with toys in Q4, I'm like, wow, the car's going to be full. And I don't have a big van or anything. I just have a Q5, an Audi, seats down, everything, just me in the car. And I think I could fit like 160 pairs of shoes in the car or whatever. But you're buying stuff, and I might be buying stuff with 20% ROI, 30%, 40%, 50. 60, 70, 80, 100, whatever. But when I'm sourcing, I'm not being selective. I'm just taking it as I find it. But then when I realize how much I got, I'm like, wow, I got to go through everything now because there's more
Exactly.
there's more 80% ROI that I could get. And I filled up half the car with 30% ROI. And so
Exactly.
it's good not to be limited. So any way you can manage your limits is a good thing.
Listen, I hate to have to put back anything that has any ROI. So I have to mobile print. I'm so determined to complete my day and come home when I'm ready to come home on schedule, or when, like I said, that budget is gone and I have to come home. I don't want to come home because the car is full.
Right.
I just do not.
It
hurts.
It's not a good idea to come home when the car's
The
full.
only reason I came home today was because we had to go live. I would have still been out there doing what I was doing and finessing coupons.
Well, your lady can tell me thank you.
Look, I was finessing coupons. You know, when you go in the store and they have like a deal going on and you need to have the coupon for it.
Right.
You don't need the coupon. You just ask the cashier, hey, you got the coupon for today? And they'll usually come up with one, and then you can go ahead and get the deal without having a coupon. And I was doing that all day. I do that
at Kohl's all the time. They're like, you got your coupon? And I'm like, you got my coupon?
It only works sometimes, though.
Yeah, being nice.
If you go there a lot, they'll look out.
Being nice is the key to that one. You got to smile.
Oh,
a lot of people think this, man. This is a problem. A lot of people aren't very social. And then they try to get into this business and they think that they can like be robotic about it. And you can, but you're going to get a lot more opportunity if you're nice and courteous to the people that work in the stores. And it's really not that hard because they're used to being treated, just like a used dish rag, because people are public. Like, people are really rude to service workers, so you be nice to them and they might give you a special circumstance,
Plenty of times. I have many occasions where I get a special treatment, but mainly because people are curious about what we do. When they see you with 2 shopping carts and it's full of stuff and it's the stuff that they can't sell, they want to know what you're doing. So it opens up an opportunity to talk to you like, hey, are you actually buying all of this? Oh, yeah. Do you have more? I like to get more if you got it. And from there, you can create a relationship and keep coming back, get some leads.
You got to be careful about how you got to weigh every situation differently, because you want people to know that you're buying stuff, but in some situations you might not want them to know that you're selling stuff. But in other situations, you might want them to know. It just depends, because not telling them what you do is going to result in nothing. But, maybe telling them, they might say, oh, yeah, well, I'm about to put some clearance out. Come in the back and check this out, or you should come back next Thursday. That's when all this gets marked on clearance. And maybe you were about to buy it all, Just wait a couple days, come back, get it for, 40% off or something.
Yeah, definitely. And that's true about the situation that you have at hand. Some situations result in you saying what you do, and other ones you should be quiet, because sometimes people want to either take it over or they want to help you. So you do have to pay attention to that. Like, some people don't like us reselling for some reason. They think it's like icky and they might not even let you buy. I've had instances where I had a shopping cart full of something or 2, and I get there and they say, oh, you can only get 1. And it was mainly just because they didn't want me selling it. It wasn't really a policy. It wasn't a reason behind it. I wasn't rude to anybody. They just didn't want me to. It just looks like I was going to make some money or something. I don't know. And they stopped me.
Yeah,
so
sometimes
you
these
gotta
store
be
workers
careful.
feel like you're stealing from them or for something. And I'm like, man, the smart ones are the ones that they see you coming and they're happy. They're like, come on, come over here.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Come over here. I got 2 managers at my local Toys R Us, and one of them is, they're the roadblock. They follow me around the store. They're like, you can only buy 2 of those. You can only buy 1 of those, and literally try to grab in my cart sometimes. And the other one, he leads me around the store, and he's like, scan that. You like that? I'm gonna go get you some more from the back. Like, how many you want? So
that's cool.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
They got to be motivated to sell. I don't know what some people think they're doing. Their job is to sell stuff. You know what I mean? They're not there to share the wealth of products.
I have had so many times where I have a debate with people, because then I start to debate them sometimes just to get the logic from them. Like, I'll say, hey, this stuff is clearance and you guys need the shelf space to bring out the seasonal stuff. So you need the room. I'm willing to take it. Where are we going with it when you want to take it back from me? Like, where does this take us? And from there, sometimes they say, you know what? You're right. I just need the logic. I'm willing to take all of it. I'm not asking for any more discounts. I'm not asking to stack any coupons. I just want to help you. Help me help you.
Yeah,
Let's
those are
both
the
win.
it sounds like my
You
shoe
know?
lady at Marshall's. She's hyped when she sees me come in, especially because I'll come in when she's receiving the new shoes off the truck, and then she knows I'm buying them. That's, that's 30% less shoes that she has to price, tag, and put out on the floor, because I'm just going to take them right out the box of the incoming inventory and then go buy them.
Hey man, every situation is different, man. It's crazy.
Let's
With retail
talk about
arbitrage,
let's talk about finessing the flip, man. What does finessing the flip mean?
um, well, finessing in general is basically creating something that's not there. For instance, the average person that does retail arbitrage, well, maybe not the average person, but most people, when they go do retail arbitrage, they just go look and they do their research on what could be on sale, what is on sale, and they go from there. They don't actually go and create sales. When you finesse, you go into a store and you see something on the shelf and you say, hey, how much is this if I take all? When are you guys doing a markdown? How much is the markdown going to be? What's the next markdown after that one? How much is your budget? You ask things like that where you have more room. Even doing this works a lot. Hopefully people don't ruin it. When you go on Walmart and you scan something and it comes up item not found, it's no longer on file at that store, so they can't lose money. So you can ask for it at $1. I've done this plenty of times and it works. Because if it's item not found, it's not in the system. So if they re-enter it in the system, they have to create a price. So I'll basically say, hey, is this $1? Because it's not in the system. Can I get it for $1? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you can get a really good item for
Nice.
$1.
That's a pro tip.
They
And you're
can't lose
talking
any
about
money.
scanning it with the Walmart app, yeah?
Yes, sir. Or the app, the scanner on the wall. I prefer the Walmart app because where we live is kind of it's updated, so it's actually the real price of the item when you scan it with the Walmart app, with your
Nice.
location turned on.
Let's talk
And
about slick deals. I think a lot of people don't know about slick deals, which is very important for retail arbitrage, especially stores like Walmart.
man, I'm a rookie on slick deals, to believe it or not. I
All
kind
right.
of just go in there and browse, and I look for things that look like it's good, and I'll try to like reference it on other sites to see if it's really a sale or if they're just sending me to another site. I just use it as a reference point. I like to actually
Right.
get out there and like really
So
be out in the field.
I know a little bit about slick deals. I'm pretty much a rookie too, but I've had a subscription for almost 6 months now, and there's different levels of subscriptions to slick deals. And there's some really cool things. The two features that I think are the most useful is like hot items. You can see what items are being searched for the most on Slick Deals in different stores. So in Target or in Walmart or in, I think Lowe's is the other one that it supports. I'm not 100% for sure. But and so if you have a subscription, it doesn't track your searches. But if you don't have a subscription and you're searching for items on Slick Deals, because basically what Slick Deals does is it tells you how much is in stock and what the price is at different stores. So knowing what people are searching, like what's the most searched item, those are definitely sought after items and probably profitable. And then the other thing is it will tell you the recent markdowns at your local store. So you put your zip code in and it will tell you, you know, this item was $10 yesterday, but today it's $1. It's 90% off. And you can sort it by dollars off or by percent off, and then go to your store and look for those items. It's not always 100% accurate. I think it's only accurate within 24 hours or so, but it's a great asset to use and to be able to hunt stuff. And you can see different prices too. So for example, let's say there's a Vitamix blender. It's like $300 or 500, whatever they are. But it's $80 at some Walmarts, and then you go and search. Maybe someone told you it was at theirs. You search, and at yours, it's not. But there's one from you 45 minutes away from you, and it's $80, and it's 200 at yours or 300. So then you can drive over to that other Walmart and pick up those ones. So it's a oh yeah, I definitely mean BrickSeek. Huge brain fart. Sorry
Yeah,
guys.
that's what I was going
I
to
was
ask you.
saying
Yeah, that's the reason why when you said
yeah.
slick deals, I was like, nah, I'm not really good on slick deals.
Yeah,
BrickSeek,
my
yes,
bad. I don't know why I had a
BrickSeek.
huge brain fart and I said that whole thing I was just talking about right now. I was talking about BrickSeek. I did not mean Slick
Yeah.
Deals. Um, anyways,
Don't
yeah. So
forget,
BrickSeek, guys, originally just for tracking Legos in Lego inventory. That's very embarrassing of myself. But
no,
so
it's okay.
let's talk about Slick Deals now. You do a little bit of
Nah,
online
not
arbitrage at all?
a little bit, a little bit. But before we get to slick deals, don't forget Zoolert. A lot of people don't use Zoolert. It's just like BrickSeek.
Nice. Yeah, it is. It's
It's
similar, right?
it's the same type of app, but it's a few different stores. So
Okay.
check out Zoolert.com. Also,
I'm gonna look
there's
that up
probably
right now
some
so we
stores
can get
that
a
you
little bit of
use.
information. I've only looked at that a couple times.
Yeah, and
Zoolert, ZOOLERT, and this
T.
does. Let's see what
Yes,
stores it does. I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to see if I can figure this out
and
quickly. Do you know what stores it
more
does?
on that. I don't. I just I
Okay,
use
I
it
got
every
it. You
once
got
in a while.
Best Buy, GameStop, Target, Walmart, CVS, Home Depot, Lowe's, Office Depot, and Walgreens. So it's much more diverse. It's free too, right?
I'm
I think
not
it's
using any
free.
paid version of it. I use it here and there. I'm gonna tell you when I use it. Whenever somebody gives me a really good bolo in any of those stores, and I'm like near an area where they said they seen it, I'll go into Zoolert and try to look it up on my iPad and get an idea of if it's there. Once again, it's not always accurate like BrickSeek, but the important thing is it's the reference. Um, and I'm saying that to say if somebody said, like you said, a Vitamix was like $40 and you know it's usually like 200. They might not have the Vitamix when you get there, but the whole fact that they use their budget to mark things down so cheaply tells you that it's a possibility you might make some money at that store. So I use it strictly for that purpose of knowing this area potentially has some good stuff, or this area definitely has some good stuff. I'm going to go there, and it works really well. And saying that to say, if you're ever in a Walmart and you find some good clearance, scan the item that you scan, and I want you to go through the browse function, and you'll get to see the other good clearance that you probably wouldn't even know was in the store. You can just scroll,
Nice.
and it's kind of
In
like,
using in
you
the
know,
Walmart app.
inside the Walmart app, just start to scroll. Like if you scan
Right.
an electronic, it'll show you similar items that are marked down. And I found some really good stuff just scrolling.
That's really
And
cool.
you can,
That's something that online arbitrage, we call that going down the rabbit hole.
I
Because you
like
know
to be
how
in the field, man.
they have these features where it says customers who looked at this looked at these things, or customers who purchased this also purchased this, right? And
Yes, exactly,
you could do
exactly.
this on any website, on Walmart, on Amazon, on Best Buy, on Newegg, whatever. When you're on the website and you're buying online arbitrage deals, chances are very likely that other people who bought that are also buying for resale as well. And so you can just go click on those other deals and start looking at them, and you can find, turn one bolo into 10 bolos.
Exactly. Trust the information.
Yeah, we were talking about the actual Walmart app, but that anytime you see that in an app or on a website where it says customers who bought this or looked at this also looked at this, take a look at that, because that data matches your customer type. And they're saying people that are like you also bought this. The store, they don't know you're a reseller, but you're behaving like what other resellers did. And so you can go through there and find more stuff that you can flip.
The reason why I like that, I believe, is really key because sometimes you get like tunnel vision and you get one dimensional when you find a good score and you're like, I got an egg, and you go home. You can just browse through and see if it's anything else that fits the criteria that you want to, utilize to make some money. And I'm just looking for ROI. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. I just want ROI.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Hey, let's talk about that for a while, because I think a lot of people get caught up on ROI. So especially people like me that come from the secondary market, selling books or selling garage sales, yard sales, flea market, whatever. You're used to buying stuff for like, $1 to $5 and selling it for $10 to $50, right? You're used to those high ROI percentages, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
so oftentimes it's hard for you to swallow a 30% ROI or a 20% ROI, because a lot of people are like, well, I was taught, to buy the rules of three. So if I buy it for five, I'm trying to sell it. I'm trying to sell it for at least 15, or I'm trying to at least double my money or whatever. That's cool, but you don't want to limit yourself, guys, because you need to evaluate every situation separately, right? So a 20% margin, right? So like can be good, but would it be good to spend $10 to get back 12 just to make $2 profit? Maybe not. Not unless it was something that sells extremely well and you have a bunch of them and like they're gonna fly off the shelf. But spending $100 to make $20 profit, which will for sure happen, that can be really good depending on what your situations are. That's obviously going to limit your capital, but if you follow someone like Watch Me FBA, I think he's working around on a 15% margin, but he's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on inventory. So it works for him, right? So
yes.
often, ROI is good, but don't forget to look at the dollars that you're going to make off of each item that you buy.
Yeah, it's important. As far as like when I say ROI, going into it a little deeper, uh, I try to make at least $5 on an item. Sometimes I can only make $1, but I will actually take that item. I know a lot of people won't. For instance, I used to be really, really heavy into DVDs until I got suspended, and I would actually buy DVDs from Dollar Tree for $1. Um, sell them for like 6 or 7, and with the gross, I would get back 2. So I would pretty much double my money, and I was doing that, and that was pretty good because I could just go to Dollar Tree, spend $100, get 100 DVDs, make 200 back using FBA, and not have to really do any work. Um, and then I started using that money to purchase better inventory, of course, where like you can find some video games, retail arbitrage, and get 200, 300% ROI with some games. And you just keep coming back and keep reinvesting and buying better stuff. But now that it's 2018 and I have pretty much a few years of experience of really being serious, I'm all in, man. No breaks, no store safe. I'm going to
No
just go out
store
there and
safe.
do as much as I can because I feel like my experience is enough for me to determine what will work well and what is like experimental to find out if it works well. So I'm just trying to make money and I'm using Watch Me Amazon. He said one time on a post, if you can make $5 off of something, that's pretty good. So I kind of adopted that method with some of the stuff that I usually wouldn't get. I'll get it if I can make $5 guaranteed. So in quantity as well. And that's pretty
Awesome.
much what I got going on.
So let's talk about, you said you were suspended. How did that go down and how did you come back from that? Obviously you're back in the game.
Man, to be honest with you, I got lucky. I had got 2 inauthentic claims with DVDs. Well, actually, one was for a DVD and one was for a video game. The video game really surprised me because it was an Xbox 360 game, but the person said it was fake because they had an Xbox, which is the original Xbox, and the game wouldn't play. So they left me a feedback and said, hey, this game doesn't work. I think it's fake. So I was a little upset about that. So I removed the feedback. I contacted Amazon. They removed it, said it was against policy. And I was a little nervous about it because I know the game was real. That person knew the game was real, but they wanted to return it, but they went about it in such a way where it was damaging to my account. I kind of thought it blew over because nothing really was said. And then Amazon sent me an email and said, hey, we want you to send in more of this item so we can look at it and so we can determine that the item is real. And I didn't have the item to send in because it was a one-off and it was retail arbitrage. I didn't have access to get another one. Thinking back on it now, I think I should have purchased one from another seller, but I didn't think about that. But long story short, I was selling a lot of DVDs at that time, and I sent in a really big DVD collection that I purchased from this guy that had a store. And one of the DVDs was about 14 years old. It was still factory sealed and it was new. And the guy got it and he thought it was a fake DVD because it was older and it doesn't look like the DVDs you find in the store nowadays. So this guy figured that the DVD was fake and he called Amazon about it and said it wasn't real. And that's when I got suspended because I had 2 claims within about a 60 or 90-day period and they suspended my account.
Damn, man, that's the worst nightmare. I've actually never been suspended, so
yeah, man,
I can't really
it sucked, bro.
attest to that. But I imagine I would go crazy and lose my mind. But how did you get back?
Well, I contacted a bunch of people. I contacted Happy Amazon Seller on Instagram, and they advised me. And I spoke to a lot of Instagram sellers. I spoke to Ecom Hustle. I spoke to Cyber Hustler.
I think we're
on
breaking
Instagram.
up here a little bit.
Are we good now?
Yeah, I don't know if it's you or if it's me. I think it might be me since I'm in my garage.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. But I spoke to several people on Instagram. I spoke to Cyber Hustler and I spoke to Ecom Hustle and a few other people and Happy Amazon Seller, of course. And I was able to get some advice and I moved forward with a plan of action. I explained my case, which basically the DVD, I was able to send more of the DVD because I was able to acquire it. It was real. Also, the game was real. And I explained my case. I created a plan of action that was solid. Basically, I told them I was going to recall everything that I had in my inventory. I was going to look it over again. I would stop sourcing from the place where I got the inauthentic claim from. I would stop selling that SKU, and that I would be extremely meticulous about anything that I sent to Amazon, which I already was. And I was going to make sure that didn't happen again. And after submitting my plan of action and going through a review for 7 days of them asking for every receipt to every item that I had in stock and submitting those different requests, I was able to get my account back. And it was kind of funny because it was 7 whole days of back and forth emailing, back and forth emailing. And when you get suspended from Amazon, it's like a loophole. Amazon doesn't, it's not like a one-shot deal. When you get suspended and you submit your plan of action, they'll basically ask you the same question they asked you prior to the plan of action. So it's like a death loop. And then the shift changes and you get somebody different and you explain the whole case again. And then the whole process goes over again. The shift changes and you explain the whole case again. And that goes on and on and on for weeks or months for some people. For me, it was for 7 days. And I sat at the computer for 7 days, man.
Damn.
Emailing and texting them and calling them. And eventually, on the 7th day, after doing so much, I got a little frustrated. And I emailed seller support and said, hey, I've done everything that you asked me for. Please give me my account back. Thank you. And I got an email and they said, upon looking at your documents or whatever, we said you can sell on Amazon again. And it was like, it was the greatest thing ever, man.
And that's the 7-day story of Flip's Hanukkah.
Yeah, and I got my the privilege to sell on Amazon again. And man, I'm just trying to stay in good shape.
It's a privilege. It's not it's not something everybody just is expected to have. It's a privilege. You got to earn it. You got to maintain it. You know what I mean?
You got to be careful on Amazon, man. And Amazon, like for Amazon, for a seller like you that sells the amount of stuff that you sell, you have a little bit more leverage for things to go wrong or for things that another seller, it might be devastating. It might be their last shot.
Right. A lot of people don't know this.
The bigger the account,
Amazon weights accounts. So like, I don't know how much stuff you're selling, and but I'll just use you as a comparison. You might, or let's just say like your exact situation with the DVD. If that happened to me, I guarantee all that would happen would be I would just get a warning email. That's it. But for you, they actually closed you down.
Yes. And I had to explain myself. But the good thing about it is I think they weigh my account a little higher than some others because they actually gave it back after I explained my case. I have heard of people where they explained, and I'm talking about sellers that should have got their account back. Hundreds of $1,000s worth of revenue in a month, and one or two inauthentic claims, and they lost their account. And I think that's wrong because
I feel like maybe they
another
didn't
seller
stay
can
at the
do that.
computer for 7 days. They're like, don't ban Flip. He's gonna call us all day, every day for a week.
That's true. I don't think they have that much time. I didn't have anything to lose because at that time I was just looking at the computer and just thinking like, man, somebody took me out the game. And it's not like I was selling fake stuff. If I was selling fake stuff, I would embrace it because I was doing it. I was just like, wow, somebody's that powerful to just, change my life like that, make me lose my little bit of money that I had in my inventory and stuff like that. Because
Right.
I had to recall,
That's one thing I like to
tons
tell.
of DVDs.
One thing I like to tell the sellers, the seller support is like, look, I made Amazon, because we know how much we made Amazon, right? If you sold $1 million on Amazon and they take 15% plus fees, you know what I mean? You could say you made them at least 150 grand, probably, 100, probably 200 grand with fees and everything, right? So, I'm like, yo, I made Amazon 200 grand last year. Like, how much do you get paid? Because I don't think you're qualified to make that decision. Like, put me up to a higher up.
You talk to them like
So
that?
a lot of people don't know. You have to be firm with the seller support. They are very low paid, outsourced, usually outsourced employees. And if you're not getting a captive call center, an American domestic employee, you're literally dealing with someone that makes like, probably $5,000 a year to answer the phone for Amazon, if that. And they're focusing on keeping their call metrics low. They want to handle as many calls as they can a day, spend as least amount of time on those calls as possible, because Amazon drills them like that. And that's not what we want. You know what I mean? So don't be scared to tell them what you want and how they should handle it, because oftentimes it makes the difference between getting what you want and then getting shortchanged is just you being vocal and saying like, look, I'm in charge here. I pay money to sell on your platform. As a seller, I'm your customer. And, you're going to give me these benefits. That's what I signed up for.
That's a good way to look at it, man. I got to take that into account. I got to take that into account.
We're making them a lot of money, right? And they're just treating us like, they're treating our customers better. They'll treat your customer who spent $10 on Amazon better than they'll treat us, and we made them 100 grand. So something's wrong with that.
Yeah, that is, man. That's crazy. Let me check my sales, man.
Check your sales. What are you working with? I saw you've been posting some pretty high days recently.
I'm at 750.
Do you know what you did last year in revenue?
170. 170,000.
Nice.
Yeah, I wish it was more. I was aiming for 300K, but when I got suspended, my momentum was just dead. That suspension, it really rocked me. Like, for instance, with the suspension, I lost 20,000 with the suspension. And not only that, I lost all of my inventory that was media based, that was going to get me the payouts that I needed to continue to grow. So basically, I had to start my account off with no inventory. I had to send in different items, and I had to work my way up like a newbie, making like $500 and $1,000, and to continue to get the business back to where it was. Like, if you could imagine, if you started over a new account tomorrow with none of the inventory that you have currently in there, and you had to go source again,
right?
Your first payout would probably be like $1,000, maybe.
I might owe them money, bro. Depending on how much stuff I was shipping out.
By the time you get the stuff shipped out and get it to where your momentum is coming back, it takes some time. So I was pretty much I was messed up until Q4, where I was able to get more momentum into.
That's what a lot of people, I hear that from a lot of new sellers. They're like, yo, I just got in the game, Reezy. I shipped off some books. I shipped off some more books. And I got my first payment, and it's only $2. But I sold 100 books. Like, what happened? And I'm like, well, did you know what I mean? People don't like to look at the fees and stuff, and get on the computer or whatever. And yeah, dude, what happened is you owe them more money because you shipped in more inventory. But guess what? You still have 89 books at Amazon, and if those each make you $10, that's $890. Or if they all make you $5, that's what is that, $450 or something like that.
Yeah, man, that's a pain when you first get started. I remember when I would get a return and it would make my balance negative, and that hurts, man. Now I don't worry about it because you got like 100 orders pending. So if somebody returns something, you still got 100 orders that need to be shipped out, and that'll take care of that return and any of your other fees and stuff like that. So it's kind of like when you get your snowball rolling, it kind of gets bigger rather
Yep.
than
That's
being
what I tell
stagnant and
people.
just
I tell them grow your
being the same size.
snowball. Grow that
Yeah, get it
snowball.
rolling. It's
Just
important,
keep
but you
it
got to know
moving.
how. That's the thing. You got to find out how to grow it, how to be effective. It's easy to be busy, but being busy doesn't mean you're going to be effective. So
Right.
that's why I'm saying this year, I'm like, all gas, no brakes, because I understand what I'm doing as far as like my niche and what I want to get from it. Now I have to increase what I'm doing and scale and just, move a different way. I have to carry a different mindset so I can get something different.
Yeah, and I think that's important to get in where you fit in, right? So like certain areas are good for books. For example, higher income areas, rich people read more, right? And literacy rates, do a lot of people read? Like you can look these all up on maps, like literacy rates, income rates, colleges in the area, or percentage of college students, and like mash that together, and that makes a good area for books. But guess
Nice.
what? Where I live, it's on the coast, and I don't have a lot of access to a lot of retail stores. I don't have a Walmart, not one. I got to drive 45 minutes in one way just to get to one Walmart, or 45 minutes the opposite way to get to San Jose to go to a couple other Walmarts. So for me, it just, I have a Marshalls, I have a Toys R Us. You have to use your time wisely, right? I buy books online using eFlip. I do books locally. I'll hit up the stores that I have. You know what I mean? I'll plan out trips to go out. But if you might have 20 Walmarts. You might have 20 Targets. You probably should look into retail arbitrage. Maybe you live in a town, and I'm just making it up right now. Maybe you live in the town where the factory is for, the number one car parts suppliers, and so you have a huge access to car parts or something like that. Like you got to know what's going on in your area and use that to your advantage, because it's not going to be the same for every person. And I think a lot of people fail trying to get into e-commerce because they see me or they see you or they see someone else and they try to do it the exact same way. A lot of the tactics and principles are the same, but it's going to be different for everybody depending on where you live, how much capital you have available, how much time you have. It's just selling online is not a one size fits all thing for everybody. I think maybe if you're doing private label or wholesale, you could probably use a similar business model for most people. But think about like wholesale, for example. Watch Me Amazon. He lives in Brooklyn, and he does a very successful, I think, $10 million a year plus wholesale business. And he lives in Brooklyn. That's pretty expensive. I'm assuming he gets. I'm assuming he gets good shipping rates because he lives on the coast. But I bet if you lived in the middle of the United States, you have more of a financial advantage than he does, because your rent, your overhead is much less. What does his warehouse cost in Brooklyn versus your warehouse in Indiana? You know what I mean? It's going to be 10 times cheaper.
Exactly.
So it's important to utilize what's at your availability. What kind of advantages do you have? Do you maybe about fishing? So then when you go into private label, you're going to come up with some private label like fishing lure or something like that.
I don't know anything about private label.
Yeah, me neither. I'm trying to learn though, because my time is becoming more and more valuable and less of an asset that I have access to.
I'm learning. It's something that I definitely want to do because you have to diversify your income, and retail arbitrage is not really a real business model. It's just it's trapping, it's hustling. One of the
Right.
reasons I call it trapping, at any given time, a brand can hit you up and say, "Hey, who are you? Are you authorized to sell this?" So, in a sense, I'm trapping because I'm just going about it how I'm going about it and seeing if I can make $1 off it. And so far, so good. But like I said, tomorrow they could just say, "Hey, you can't sell this brand," and you might have like 300 or 400 items
So
of
yeah,
that particular
you're not
brand and stock.
technically breaking the law, but they would shut you down if they could.
Exactly. So tomorrow a law can come out where this retail arbitrage thing is pretty much done. But until then, guess what? No breaks, baby. No store safe.
Right. Someone wants to know if you're trapping that digital gold.
No, I'm trapping a little bit of Bitcoin. No digital gold. Nothing else.
What is
Just a
what
small
is
amount of
digital
Bitcoin.
gold? I was assuming they meant Bitcoin.
Yeah, because I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So
Definitely not trapping that.
what's your Bitcoin knowledge like? How long have you been messing with Bitcoin? I just started playing around with Bitcoin in the last year.
Man, my Bitcoin knowledge is limited, but I got one of the best mentors in the game. Money Don't Sleep on Instagram. That's my main man. He's in Cali like you, but extremely knowledgeable, super intelligent, breaks it down, gives you a understanding of what Bitcoin is, showed me how to control my Bitcoin and actually own it in my wallet. A lot of people use like Coinbase and places like that where you don't actually own your Bitcoin because if they shut your login off, you can't access it. You can't trade it. You can't do anything with it. So it's kind of like you're not holding it. So I'm holding it in my own wallet with my private key and stuff like that. So I had access to it at any given time without any middlemen or anything like that. And also I'm holding it anonymously, which is something you can't do on Coinbase. But that's pretty much my knowledge as far as Bitcoin. I'm
I
not
did
into
not
any other
know
coins yet.
that Money Don't Sleep, which I just realized it's weird that I don't know what his first name is. I did not
His
know
first
he was
name
in
is Money. His first
yeah.
name is Money.
Middle name Don't, last name Sleep. I didn't know he was in California because I want to go holler at him. I'm going down to Southern
Well,
California.
he's in California most of the time. He's probably in Hawaii right now. Who
Right.
knows?
I wish I was still in
But
Hawaii.
he's in Cali. But
If you
good
guys,
dude.
if anybody is watching this, lives in Southern California, there's gonna be a Southern California reseller meetup on the 25th of January this month at 6:30 p.m. at Shakey's in Whittier. It's hosted by Earth Chakra Now, and he's the homie, and Glenn Hustler Hacks, also the homie. But there's 50 confirmed sellers that like actually RSVP'd. So there'll probably be maybe, I think there'll be at least 50 people that show up, counting people that didn't show up and people that didn't RSVP. But maybe 75 people. We might, exceed capacity of Shakey's. I have no idea. But it's free. And if you can come, I highly recommend you coming, not just to this meetup, but to any similar type meetup. Because if you can meet someone face to face, build relations, you're going to be making relationships and networking. You'll be at the front of the line when it comes to, when you need help, because a real life connection is a whole different thing than, a follower on the internet or someone that messages you. It's more prioritized, right?
Yeah,
You need to
that's
go get a
cool, man. I
glass of
wish I
water,
could
Flip.
come. Man, listen, I suck, man.
You want to go get a glass
I
of
do need
water,
some
bro?
water. I do need
Go
to
get
go
some
get a
water.
glass of water, bro. All right, give me a
Go
second.
get some water. So, if you can make it out to this meetup, I highly suggest that you do come out to this meetup. Like I said, it's free and it's going to be really awesome. The reason I'm down there is because there is a conference going on that same weekend that I'm speaking at on Friday. It's a Merch by Amazon conference hosted by RJ Martinez. He's doing really well. I think he did 40,000 in profit on print on demand just last in December alone, which obviously is inflated for Q4, but he's doing really well. He sold over 1,000 shirts on over 10,000 shirts on Merch by Amazon. I just saw him hit that milestone recently, and he has YouTube and social media, whatever. I'm speaking about social media, but he's talking about Merch by Amazon. There's a couple other people talking about Merch by Amazon. There's a private label guy there. It's gonna be pretty awesome. So even if it's sold out, right? So you could buy the videos of that, but check this out. Here's a little hack that a lot of people don't know about. But if you want to go to a conference but you can't afford it, if it's in your area, go to the hotel that the conference is at, and go to the bar. Just show up in the lobby. Just hang out. I guarantee you're going to see some people, because when the meeting's over or in between the meetings, everyone's going to congregate in the lobby or at the bar or something. And oftentimes that's the networking that goes down at the bar or in the lobby is better than the whole event itself, in my opinion, from the handful of events that I've been to. So if you can make it out to there, do it. Come through the lobby, the hotel bar. If you want to meet up with me, we can do a consultation or whatever, just hang out. I think I'm going to try and go to Universal Studios, check out Hogwarts. But just reach out and touch people, you know what I mean? When you have the opportunity, you should definitely do it. We got Flip a Dollar back. He's hydrated. His throat ain't so parched anymore.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I apologize, guys.
No, it's all good, man. It's good. It's all good.
I got to do a meetup, though, man. That's kind of cool. I got to come out there.
Yeah, no, you got to. I'm trying to come back over there too. I'm going to.
I need a passport, bro.
Not to come to Cali. I'll give you that Cali hood pass. I got you.
And Pennsylvania, they want you to have a passport to leave. I don't know if it's legal yet, but this is a law they want for us to need a passport just to fly anywhere in the U.S., which is weird.
That seems like a trap,
right? Yeah, it's crazy. I got to look it up, but I was reading on it not too long ago. I don't know if it's a law yet. It's probably not, but this is something they were talking about. I don't really know why, but they want you to have a passport just to leave, which is like extremely weird.
Doc, I'm about to send you a Reezy flask. I got you, man. Can't have my boy out here so parched. I'm about to send you that 40-ounce flask.
Put some Kali water in there for me, so that way I could clear out my throat.
Yeah, I'm trying to come through Philadelphia. I really like your town, man. Like they say, it's like the city of brotherly love, but like it is, like, no joke. It's I don't know what, there's like just love. You can feel it. I mean, I'm sure I was strategically guided into the lovely areas, you know what I mean? But because I heard there's some pretty bad areas that a little white boy like me shouldn't just be going all alone.
That's not really, it's not really the case, man. It's not really the case. To be honest with you, you came down here with the OG, man. Nehemiah is the OG, man. One of the top dogs in Philly, man. So I mean, you with him, you good. But most importantly, the other places you would have just been expected to be a cop. Hey, is this guy a cop? Or something like that. So you good, man. You good. It's not like that. It's more so, I'll tell you the truth about Philly.
I'm like, no cops wearing a Coogee sweater, bro. No cops wearing a Coogee sweater.
If you're not bothering anybody, 9 times out of 10, they're not bothering you. Nobody is like just going to come over to you and mess with you 9 times out of 10 unless they're trying to sell you something or something crazy like that. But other than that, it's not much going on, man.
Yeah,
it's real chill. And laid back.
I'm trying to come back out there to visit Nehemiah. He got like his whole foundation going on now, and they got like their own building and everything. And I'm trying to do like a week-long YouTube course, free YouTube course for the kids of Philadelphia that want to learn how to do YouTube, how to film, just basic stuff, how to set up your channel, how to run it, how to vlog, how to edit videos, all that stuff.
That's nice, man. I like that. That's a good idea. Yeah,
it'd be really fun. And
if you need help, I'll come help you.
Kids because definitely, man. I like teaching kids because they're not jaded, right? Like adults, you gotta unbrainwash an adult first sometimes before you can actually teach them. But the kids, you like talk to them, and they give you that look in their eyes, like, whoa, they talking to me, like they're paying attention to me, and then you can just unload on them.
Do you know why that is? Do you know why?
I'm assuming maybe they don't get a lot of attention or something, like myself when I was a kid.
Well, I believe with kids, kids can believe anything, and it's kind of hard for adults to believe stuff. For instance, NCAA 2014 for Xbox 360. I was selling that game for like $155 in Q4, but people wouldn't believe me unless they looked it up. And if you go on Amazon right now and look it up, you'll see it's probably still selling for about that much money new.
Why is that one more desirable?
Because it's super rare, but it's a lot of games like that. If you look up NCAA 13, it's probably like $80, $80 or $90, but it's hard to find. You're not going to find it everywhere. So
I'm just assuming you don't play video games, or do you play video games?
I do here and there. I play my
Because
Nintendo
I
Switch.
sold a bunch of games this Q4, and one of the games I sold a lot of copies of was the NBA 2K18, the early tip-off
Okay.
edition, the regular edition, and the gold edition, which was like $100 game going for like
Yeah.
150 or something.
Yeah.
And really, it's all the exact same game. The only difference is they come with different amounts of virtual in-game currency inside the game.
Wasn't the gold one inside like the collectible 10? I think I had one copy of that.
I don't remember exactly. And also the early tip-off game, I guess it allowed you to play online before the online actually launched, like a week or two before. But like when we were selling them, it had been out for months, so it didn't really matter, right?
You know what?
But
Another game.
I was
Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was reading a bunch of reviews, and I had some concerned customers or whatever. And basically, I guess a lot of people are really mad at that franchise because of the way they made the game like freemium, to where like you can play the game, but you really can't have a lot of fun if you don't sink in extra money into buying the in-game currency.
Wow, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's like
seems
half the game.
Yeah, you're like, you already paid for it. Why should you have to, But like really crazy, like, oh, you want to change your hairstyle? That costs 5 coins. You want to change the colors of your shoes? That costs 5 coins.
Wow. You know what I was saying to people? I believe in the next 3 or 4 years, games will be gone. Everything will be linked to the system, kind of like only DLC, and it'll be linked to the PlayStation account or whatever account you have for that system. I think it's going to be that way.
Shout out to Zen Flips. Homie just gave me a $5 tip. Appreciate that, bro. It's going straight into Bitcoin right now.
ASAP. ASAP. But you know what I wanted to say?
Go ahead.
Madden 16, I was selling in Q4 for $35 used. Look that up on Amazon. Madden 16 Xbox 360.
Wow.
I don't know why, but look it up.
Yeah.
It's selling for
See,
good
sometimes
money.
I might catch myself not even scanning something like that, especially if I was already buying the 18. I'm like, oh, it's on 18. 17 might be hitting, but 16, that ain't hitting.
Did you see how many I sold?
No, I didn't, but I used to play video games when I was a kid, and I sell video games, obviously not like as my main thing, but I used to when I was only doing eBay like 13 years ago when I first got into selling. But sports games are some of the most worthless of all games. Like, when you see Mario game, get it. It's worth money. You know what I mean? But a lot of other games aren't really worth much money, so it would be easy for me to pass up a sports game.
Sports games are perceived to be like worthless, but in a lot of cases they're not. Like if you get 2K13 for Wii U, new, it's like $65 or more for 2K13. So look out for that. It's certain games that you got to know which ones. Some are good, and some of them are hot dog water, man. Trash truck juice.
Hot dog water.
you want to go past them. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to mess with those games.
No hot dog water.
you don't want the hot dog water.
Hey, on a previous live me and Flip did on Instagram, we were talking about like just growing up and different adversities that we faced. You know what I mean? Tell these people about getting chicken nuggets slapped out of your hands.
Oh man, you want to talk about that, man? When I was in school, we used to like play around. We used to play a game called Gold Dust, where basically you had to like punch somebody in the nuts and say Gold Dust. So that was one of the games we played. And then we played Snatchies, where you would snatch something from somebody and you would be able to keep it. And we will also slap each other's lunch out of each other's hands. So if you were getting like nuggets or pizza or something like that, I would sneak up behind you and just slap it out your hand, slap it down on your shoes. Little different stuff like that.
Get ketchup on your tins.
I had a lot of victims. Yeah, I had a lot of victims. Man, I used to get people with like butter Timberlands and smack the ketchup down on their tins and just all type of stuff, man. But it was all in good fun though. It was all in good fun.
Yeah. 1 second, Flip. Hey, can you bring me my laptop charger, babe? Yeah, sorry, my laptop's about to die. I gotta get my charger real quick.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen.
No, not at all. I don't even know what happens if your laptop dies when you're live on YouTube. But yeah, I think it's important to talk about stories like that, like growing up, because everybody's different. They have different circumstances growing up. And I think stuff like that builds character. And can you plug it in right there for me? And you know what I mean? That taught you to be on the lookout, right? So you be on the lookout for someone trying to slap your chicken nuggets, right? and
Oh, man.
you know, not everybody had, you know, it's kind of like nowadays, I think kids are really soft, right? Like parents, you know, they're giving out like 5th place trophies, you know. People will be like, you know, don't raise your voice around my kid. Don't yell at my kid. People definitely don't hit their kids anymore. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I advise people to abuse their children or that, you know, spare the rod, spoil the child or whatever. I just feel that we're definitely too in development, you know? So like I see people that are hustlers and they're go-getters, right? They're not usually people that came from, you know, a really nice upbringing that had never faced no kind of adversity. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hear this a lot of the times. Like, yeah, I'm rich. I grew up rich, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm an eBay seller, you know? Like, it doesn't work out like that. You know what I mean? It's like I struggle with this for my kids. Like, we're not rich, but they weren't hungry like I. Like, I literally was hungry every night when I was a kid. I didn't know, you know, what I was going to eat. You know, where's my dad home? Am I going to go home and eat? Will he be there? Will there be food there? You know, maybe I should just figure it out myself, right? And my kids don't know what that's like. And so, you know, I could instill the work ethic into them, but it's different than when you have to do it. You know what I mean? When you live a life of like your back is up against the wall, you become a savage.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Even in the Art of War, Sun Tzu says this. He says, if you haven't read The Art of War, I highly recommend it. A lot of stuff that's good for business too. It's free because it's like Gutenberg Press. It's like free domain. It's old as heck. But he says, like, if you want to win a battle, do not back your enemy into a corner because they're going to fight to the death. They're going to fight the hardest they ever fought, right? So the opposite of that is like anytime you really are, you know, up against the wall, you're going to fight as hard as you can. And I've always come out somewhat okay every time I've ever been up against the wall, right? And so, like, I learned stuff from that. And even if you read Damon John's book, The Power of Broke, that's what he's talking about, right? So it's just something to think about, guys, as far as, you know, what can motivate you. You know, maybe you can teach yourself to harness the power of broke and pretend like you're up against the wall, and that will motivate you to double down on your effort, you know?
You know what, though? It's important to have challenges because you learn more when you have a challenge. Like if you're winning and everything is going smooth and you're the champion, how much do you really learn? Because you're just blowing everybody away. So what new? What are you getting this new? When you're the person getting blown away, when you're getting blown away and everything is going a certain way, you have to get creative and you have to structure things so you can start to win. So you start to build. You build more when you have nothing than when you have stuff. You kind of like I'm cool, I'm good, and that's the reason why I do Uber. When my Amazon business is taken care of, I get back on Uber so I can continue to go higher rather than saying, "Hey, man, I just sent in 1,000 items. I'm gonna cross my legs and play the video game."
I'm trying to order some Puffed and just chill.
Yeah, I can't do that. I got to keep going because I want that big house, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to have a stable amount of money in the bank and stuff like that, and just enjoy my life, man.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we're
important,
all,
man.
That's what we're all doing, man. Speaking about enjoying your life, I get a lot of enjoyment from doing this right now, like with you talking, helping people, providing value to other people. Like I'm more happy to help someone else make $1,000 than I am to make $1,000 for myself, because 9 times out of 10, that $1,000 meant a lot more to that person than it does to me. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that I learned growing up really poor at a young age. I learned that not only to notice opportunities of value and take advantage of it, not let it slip away, but to share any value that, like, what do I have that's valuable right now and how can I share it? Because I definitely don't have any money to share with people. So how can I put in what I got now so that when I need something, you know what I mean, that they're more likely to come through. You know what I mean? Like Gary Vee says, the 49.51 or whatever, 51.49, whatever. And I really like social media. It brings a lot of fulfillment to me. But you also do Instagram a lot. You were saying you're working on your YouTube, right?
Yeah, man, I got to get my YouTube to where I need it to be. I have another page with 4,000 subscribers, but I was a video director, and I don't want to do the video thing and all of the other stuff I was doing. I want to do
so the link that I
motivation.
actually linked in the description, if you guys want to click down into the description, there's a bunch of random links, but right after the very first couple links, there's just a little brief description about Flip, his Instagram link, his YouTube link, and a link to sign up for Uber underneath Flip's referral code. So if you want to sign up for Uber, if this talk inspired you to try out Uber as a way to make money, when you click on that link, he gets a commission from that, and I'm sure he'll appreciate that. So as always, do your best to show our viewers some love because they spend time coming here to my channel to share information with you guys. Go to his Instagram, follow him, check out his YouTube. That is the link to the Ill Poetic one. Is that the right one?
No, that's my other page. The page I'm on now is the 24-hour hustle.
Okay, I'll change it later. So by the time you're watching this, it's probably fixed already.
Yeah, it's gonna be youtube.com/flip-a-dollar. So that'll be how you get to it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I had to make a new page because I'm not doing what I used to do.
Right.
On that page, I'm talking about flat Earth and a bunch of other stuff. People might not be into the flat Earth and all that other crazy stuff that I'm into. So
yeah, that's how people stop paying attention quick.
Yeah, keep it on reselling and hustling and trapping and all that.
Yeah, it's funny. You start talking about flat Earth, it's like talking about your religion or like politics or something, man.
Yeah, it is. It's like really crazy. Like I had people just unfriend me because of that.
Yeah,
it's too much for
crazy, man. I believe that everyone could believe in whatever they want, and I definitely don't believe in taking anything that they tell us for face value. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much. Like, it ain't. They call it a conspiracy or a conspiracy theorist because they want to make you seem crazy, right? When really you're just someone that's looking into situations that aren't, what the accepted normal is.
Yeah.
Which that's crazy. I think that's crazy that you call someone a conspiracy theorist because they're challenging something.
I had this one guy tell me everything is true. He was like, everything's true. I was like, yeah, I like that.
It's all true.
I like that. He was like, everything's true. Look, that just kills everything. True. Look, you can't debate him.
It's an easy way to live your life.
Yeah, you can't make him wrong or right. Everything's true. I was like, I like this guy, man. You can get along with people.
Let's see if we got any questions from the chat before we wrap it up. We've been going for... Put them in the chat. Elliot Wolf says, who has used Amazon loans and what was your experience? I haven't used it. I'm now regretting it. I really wish I would have took the Amazon loan because I had a loan offer for $140,000 and I just looked at it for a year and a half and I never took it. And now they took it away and I can't take it. I even tried to go like through
Yeah, the Amazon loans is gone, bro.
It's gone completely.
They gave me $14,000, not at one time, during the course of about a year and a half, and I paid it all back. And I was actually surprised in Q4 I didn't get a new offer. You would usually get a new offer when you got like near the end of it. They would refinance it and give you more. And I liked it a lot. It allowed me to grow my business a lot, so it was definitely key. But I don't know if they're going to bring it back.
Yeah, I hope they do. Someone was pointing out something about the Uber link, which I failed to mention. not only do you get a bonus from someone signing up from your link, they also get a bonus, correct?
Yes, they get a bonus too. Yes.
What's their bonus?
It will tell them how much. Every city is different depending on how many drivers they have and the volume and things like that.
Okay,
Some
cool.
people
So
get 500, 700. It's different bonuses.
yeah, so you're getting everything you would get for signing up for Uber normally, but you're also getting a bonus, and you're also helping someone else get a bonus who may or may not have guided you towards making that decision, which is great. It's a great way. If you guys follow people on YouTube, on Instagram, content creators, and you want to pay them back, because I don't know if you guys know, but you don't make peanuts off is to hit them up and say, hey, I was considering signing up for this service. Do you have a referral link? Because it doesn't cost you anything and it can benefit the person that helped you out. So it's a great way to check it out. Let me make sure I got the right link. It is Start Uber Now, Flip?
StartUberNow.com. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, startubernow.com. Let me
Here's my signs that
sure
I use when I go through the city.
I'm trying to see if the site will load. Someone said the link wasn't loading. I don't know. There might be some funny business happening with YouTube, but if you go to startubernow.com, it should work. Let me type it into the. If someone can help me out, one of the admins.
It should be up and running.
Startubernow.com. Doing for the rest of the night. Yeah, you should definitely get a meetup going in Philadelphia. I'll help you advertise that if you want me to help you.
I definitely
want to.
I want to put one together. I'm not sure if I want to do Philly or New Jersey because it's a lot of people in this area that are like in New Jersey and New York and stuff like that.
You know that like the most of the followers are in LA and New York, right? So you're pretty good located, next to a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why that is, but on my YouTube and on my Instagram, when I look at like where my views are coming from or where my subscribers are from, it's always mostly Los Angeles and New York.
You know why I think it is? The recommendations are like demographic based. I don't know why. That's like my guess.
Maybe they just have a lot more users, more content consumers in those areas or something. I don't know.
That's a strong possibility. But I know the way
because we have 50 people showing up at this meetup at Shakey's Pizza in LA, and I had to hit up Glenn, and I was like, man, 50 people? That's a pretty big turnout, man. How'd you get 50 people? Like, are you advertising it in some way that I'm not, and I was trying to hit him up, and he was like, no, man, I think it's just because a lot of the followers are in LA.
Man, it's a lot of people where you are, man. It's a lot of people. When I get followers,
I'm actually five and a half hours from LA, but still.
Wow, that's far, man. So you got to drive 5 hours?
Yeah, 5.5. I was gonna fly, but we're gonna go to Universal, and so we're bringing not just myself or not just me and my wife, but the kid also and my sister-in-law. So we're gonna drive, just much more economical.
That's cool.
Yeah, flights are cheap though. They're only like $100 round trip, maybe 120. But then you got to get a rental car when you get down there, or take Ubers or whatever. So
I drive everywhere, man. I drive like 10 hours away sourcing, 12 hours away from home.
And then 10 hours back same day or next day?
If I go that far, then I'll usually come back the next day. But
get a hotel or what?
Yeah, hotel.
Got to.
Or I've even actually don't do this. I did an overnighter and almost crashed coming back home because I never went to sleep. I just went to stores.
Yeah, don't do that. You drink coffee?
Yeah. Nah, man, but I almost crashed, man. I was falling asleep. I couldn't even help it.
You got to try the coffee,
I had the music turned all the way up. I did stop at a Starbucks eventually, but I was like pretty much 2 hours from home. And from there, I was able to get myself together.
Someone in the chat, Eddie Mateo, he wants to know if you'll do a paid one-on-one in-person mentorship. I guess they live in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, or
Of course, I think I have the link in my bio to do that, to do ride-alongs and stuff like that. So of
yeah,
course.
so go hit him up. You got to educate me about that, Flip. I think you got your thing
link in bio.
You got a little laced up more than I do.
I mean, it's so many people that want to meet you, Reezy, and want to get that one-on-one experience and sourcing trip with you. So you got to offer it to people who actually want to do it. And Pottstown is like my stomping ground, man. I shot a video in what is it? The homes up there. I forgot what it's called. Rolling Hills. Ask him if he knows about Rolling Hills homes. I shot a video up there, so it's not too far from where I live.
Nice. All right.
So,
well,
yeah.
What's on the plate for tomorrow? No store sale.
Man, about maybe like 25, 30 shipments going out tomorrow, man. I got a lot of stuff. A lot of video games, a lot of toys. Yeah.
You're about to get a lot of toys tomorrow?
Well, no, I already have a lot of toys and video games and stuff going out tomorrow. Like a ton. A ton.
Are you done working for the night, or are you still gonna ship stuff, or what are you doing for the rest of the night?
I'm gonna package everything up. So I'm gonna actually how I create my shipments. I'm gonna give people an easy way to create shipments. This is if you're not doing books. I don't think this works for books. You build your boxes and sit them out on the floor, and then you take the items you have and fit them into the boxes. Once you get them fit into the boxes and you have everything into all of the boxes, you can create shipping plans based on what's in those boxes individually. And it's a little faster than logistically. If you have a pile of stuff, you kind of figure like, man, how am I even going to ship this out? And you get like a brain fart. So build your boxes and place them in the boxes. And if they fit comfortably,
with the barcode facing up if possible.
Well, however, because the first step is fitting them, then you want to take them back out and make sure you got all of the pricing off of it and stuff like that, and that it's the condition you want it to be. Because if you're doing like me, I just purchased like 400 items today, so some of the stuff is going to be reject because I didn't see the little hole on it, or it's open and I didn't know because I grabbed the whole shelf. So you get rejects from time to time. So you gotta kind of build your shipment.
And you're doing one box shipments then?
Yes, everything one box. I don't do all of the different stuff, and because I'm having Amazon prep it. I'm not doing a mixture because they tend to make mistakes. They'll receive it and say I didn't ship something when really I did, and I don't know what the hell they're doing with it when that happens. So I try to keep it really simple.
And what do you mean
like
by
I sent in? I sent in 200 different Lego sets, and you know how Lego has a number 41005, 20865, so on and so forth.
Right.
They will mix up 40165 and 40164 and label them wrong. Like you might send in 4 of that one and 4 of that one. So it's 8. And they'll get it and say you have 8 of this one and none of that one. So they'll put, because it's only a difference of one number on the box. So they do that, and then you'll have a warning, an inbound warning on your Amazon account that you did something wrong and that you're going to incur additional fees so they can fix the problem when really somebody received it wrong.
Right. Yeah, that's a big problem.
I've even sent in.
So you strategically pack your boxes to try and not put those similar looking things together.
I'll put 50 of one item, 20 of one item. I'll actually lose money sometimes where if I have say if I have 30 items and it's 12 of this and 18 of this one, I'll just actually get 2 boxes and put 18 in one and 12 in the other one rather than put them all together, because I don't want them to get confused. If it's 12 of the same item, 12 labels done, 18 labels done, and then it can go to where it's going.
Yeah, that's true, because I know, because I sell so much different stuff, and I actually kind of just started learning this Q4 because I had more stuff in my garage than I've ever had at one time. I would look at a huge mound of stuff and be like, okay, I'm going to scan all of this in, and then that would take like a whole day, And then the next day I would start boxing it up, and that might even take more than a whole nother day. It's just, it's overwhelming. But now what I would do is I would be like, okay, I have 30 of these Nerf guns. I'm sending out a shipment of 30 of those Nerf guns.
Exactly.
So I get that done and get that out, and then like that, now that's out of my garage, ready to be picked up or taken in. And it doesn't take long at all because it's all one thing and they all the same size. They're easy to pack, like boom. then I'm looking for what's the next biggest item or the next largest quantity of item, same item, you know? And then I'll list all those, and then boom, and I'll put those, which is why I was telling you before. I was like, man, you know, if it's just one item and you're only going to make $5, I might not pick it up, because when my whole garage is full of stuff, you know, that's like the last thing I'm going to make a shipment out of is that one thing that's sitting around, you know?
I see, but see, my method is different because if I'm filling up the boxes, it's really not going to matter. It's just everything's in. Let's make some shipments. So that's the reason why that works for my method. But I see what you're saying. When you got quantity and you got one item, it doesn't really make it into any shipment. And it's like the Raggedy Ann.
Hold on, let me show you this box I have
shipment.
right here. Like random box of Skylanders.
Yeah.
Like those are gonna make me money because I paid like 50 cents for each one, but I'm only gonna make like $1.50, maybe like $2.50 on each one, you know? And so it just sits around. I don't have a lot of them too. I got one of several different types, and I have 2 or 3 of a few other ones.
I'm already buying stuff for Q4 next year.
Dude, that's a whole business model, man. People are out here buying up the discounted pre-lit Christmas trees and getting ready for next year.
Look, this is Q4 stuff. This is Christmas games. This is Christmas. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it right
this
now.
This is Christmas DS games. This is Christmas Wii games, and then this is some other games that I got to repackage.
Yeah, what are those reddish ones? Is that Wolfenstein?
No, this is NBA 2K14. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing at.
Yeah.
This is Darksiders, and then we got some Maddens, some other
games.
Are
those for selling on? Oh, I see your CD refurbisher.
Yeah, all of these games are new, but the packaging is bad. Like, they still got the price labels on them and stuff like that, but the plastic is bad. So I take it here. This is my repackaging machine here, if you can see this. And I grab a piece of cellophane.
Yeah, no, I remember you showing that on Instagram. You have a machine that seals them just like brand new. Yeah. And so just to clarify, you're not taking used stuff and resealing it as new.
No,
but what he's doing is he's fixing the packaging. So, like, for example, I recently had some Bolos video games that I was picking up at GameStop. I forget, it was like virtual. It was a VR game. It was called like Work Simulator or Day Job Simulator or something. And they were like $20-$25, and they were going for $100. And my GameStop had I think they had 7 of them. But when I get there, only one of them was sealed because GameStop likes to open games before they put them out on the shelf to display them. It's the stupidest policy ever. So because I don't have that, I was able to only pick up one, but Flip would have picked all of them up and just resealed them.
Yeah, check this out. I'll show you all of these. If you can see, the price stickers are still on most of them. But I'm going to show you the real bread and butter stuff like this. See what I paid for it, right?
Right, $5.
I want you to look this up. I'll give you the SKU.
I'll look it up right now. Hold up. All right, I'm ready.
045.
UPC. 045.
Yeah, 496.
496.
736.
736.
453. Should probably be around $50. Yeah, it should probably be around $50.
Yeah. So actually, the lowest new FBA price is $78 with a payout of $61.45.
$5. Now
Tight.
I want you to see something, right? What you notice about that?
That plastic's open.
Yeah. So I take it off, and I got more plastic. You seen it was new. Repackage it and get the $70 FBA. But I just gotta. This is 100 games just sitting here. Just needs to be packaged, but I'll get to it. And I got some that I already did. Let me show you over here. This is my processed area. If you can see this.
What is this inventory on the shelf? Stuff waiting to be processed?
This stuff needs to be listed. All of this, everything in these 2 areas, all needs to be listed.
On Amazon or eBay.
Too lazy. Most of it eBay. When I repackage games, if it's not like an Xbox 360 game or an Xbox One, sometimes it doesn't go to Amazon because Amazon is like real picky, man. I like selling on eBay or something unless I can get it to be really, really tight when I rewrap it.
Right.
Sometimes when you rewrap it, it's not as tight as I want it to be. Like I want it to just be perfect looking.
Right.
If I can't get it perfect, just sell it somewhere else.
Right.
You know, at a fraction of the cost. My investment on that Nintendogs was $5. If I can't get the wrap to be perfect, I'll take $35 on Macari. Somebody will give it to me when they look on Amazon and see it's 75. They'll give me,
then they're gonna go and look
easy.
somewhere else.
Yeah, they'll give it to me easy. So either way, it's profit. And that's how I look at it. That's how you track. I got my CD repair machine because I like to repair media. I love media, man. I make a lot of money off of media. Stuff like this. iWork. OSX, Leopard, iLife, stuff like that. You can find
selling that on Mercari or on eBay.
Anywhere. I'll probably sell it on Amazon. Like I got it with the retail box. Something like that. I might pay a quarter for it and sell it for like $20, $15 used.
Right.
You know.
Man, I had my Eco Pro 2 running super good, and I was doing CDs and DVDs. Then DVDs went down first. They got gated. And so I could still sell DVDs, but I can't sell most of the ones that are worth money, the ones that are over 25.
Yeah, neither can I. Neither can I.
And then they did CDs too. So I can still sell CDs, but I can't sell popular music, which is most of the ones I was selling.
Why did they gate me on CDs? I was doing so well. I never had any problems. I bought the Eco machine. I was ready to kill it. I was ready to get in there. They gave me.
I was selling my CDs as very good, and my customer, and they were, you know, I would refurbish them to where they were brand new looking. I would put it into a brand new case.
I remember.
About a CD, the artwork lives inside of a case, so the artwork is like brand new once you pull it out most of the time. And then I would even seal it up in shrink seal, so the customers were getting what looked like a brand new item when they were expecting a used item. And I had no bad feedback from it ever. I was selling a good amount. You know, I'd buy boxes of CDs without even looking at them. Like I'd be like, how much for that box of CDs? $10. I'm like, hell yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even need to look it up. I know there's about to be a few Mariah Careys in there. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly.
Back when she was still killing it, you know, don't be too hard on my girl.
I made a whole business selling CDs to FYE and Declutter and stuff like that. But now FYE is no longer buying. You have to sell it to Second Spin, which is still FYE. But for some reason, they won't buy on FYE.com anymore.
Secondspin.com. Is that actually pretty profitable still?
Yes and no. Yes, if you want to be meticulous and comb through collections and scan them, you will find some nice CDs. And actually, they pay for shipping, so they reimburse you. So you pay on the front end, and then they reimburse you in your PayPal. But I made a whole business off of that. I used to sell everything that people would leave.
Right.
You know, comb through the collections. Declutter is
I remember you. I remember when you called me and you were at David Manlove's warehouse. He's a large bookseller, and he had, you know, Gaylords and pallets of CDs and DVDs that he didn't have time to deal with. And Flip was like, "This is gold for me."
Man, I was going through that stuff, making so much money with it. The place I was going to closed down. I don't know if you remember CEX. You remember that store? It's called Sex, but they spell it with a C. CEX. I actually got to do a video.
Is their motto "Sex sells"?
Something like that. But I used to sell to them. They had one of the biggest payouts out there, man, in the game. Like they would buy like PS3 games off you for like $6 or $7, games that other people didn't want.
Yeah,
so
I have. So
I used to sell them a lot of stuff.
I can still sell like to the local record store. They sell, you know, it's a record store. They sell obviously CDs and records and video games and VHS tapes and DVDs. You know what I mean? All that stuff. And they buy stuff. But what I started to notice is that if you present it nicely, they buy a lot more from you. So if you just take a crate full of stuff and a lot of it's scratched and the cases are cracked, like, look at it all, and then they just say, "We're done. We looked at." And then give them to them, and you know they're nice. They're in nice cases and everything. They're going to take a lot more, and then when you come back the next time, they're going to buy even more because it's not new. But once they put it in their retail store, you know, it looks new and it sells faster on their store shelves.
Yeah, see, the important part about when you get into this business and you want to sell media, The reason why you see me with the refurbishing machine and the machine to repackage is because when you bring it to somebody, if it's ready to be sold, they will pay you more.
Right.
9 times out of 10, if you bring them something like you said with the crack cases and they need to refurbish it, then the deal is different because it's work involved. I want it to be retail ready. When I bring it to you,
Right.
here's a case of X amount of stuff. Give me an offer on it. I know I paid 25 cents per unit, but let me see what I could get from this person. And that's the way I was doing it. And that was a strong business model I was using.
And sometimes I'll even take the store credit because they like to be like, okay, well, we'll give you $50 of cash, or we'll give you 125 store credit. And this place, one of the places closed down, but it was a bookstore that also was a record store. So I would take the store credit, and then I would go and buy books with the store credit that would make even more money.
You were about to hurt my feelings talking about store credit. I still have some store credit with CEX. They went out of business, and I still have store credit over here on my desk.
We're about to crash the system, bro.
What happened?
I don't know if it's you or if it's me. I have a feeling it's me. Like I said, I'm broadcasting from the garage. My wife kicked me out of the house. No, I'm playing. But my light to my broadcasting setup fell over and broke. And so this is my best light, man. This light right here. So that's why I'm in the garage right now. While you see me, I'm chilling here in the garage with all my books, my Nikes, pulling a Ty Lopez. There's no Lamborghini though. I'm sorry. Just more boxes. But yeah, I'm gonna have to let you go, man. I gotta eat some dinner, get some water myself. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. We should do some more Instagram lives, man. And like I said, guys, make sure you head over to check out Flip's Instagram, where you can stay connected with him. He's mostly on Instagram every day. You catch him live about 26 hours a day, dropping some knowledge. And if you're in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania area, holler at your boy and maybe go on a ride along or just go out and meet him. He's a really nice, genuine dude. I met him myself personally, not just on the internet. And so, yeah, take advantage of opportunities that you got around you, and networking is one of the biggest ones. Thank you so much, Flip, for coming on the show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
We got a saying that we say around here. You know what we say?
No, what is it?
We say, if you ain't flipping,
you slipping.
You slipping always, slipping sideways. Thanks, Flip.
All right, man. Peace.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, guys.